Denial too late. Intriguing. What does that mean? The deep blue sky felt good. The wind blowing through was slightly warm and invited drowsiness. Rumors unsuitable for such a refreshing weather came to my ears as I was gathering information. I wonder if it's an incident. I was walking around the castle gathering information to see if I could help everyone in my own way. On the other side of the corner of the corridor, I heard two men, apparently civilian officials, talking. Although I felt guilty about eavesdropping, my heart swelled with anticipation of the important information I might obtain. Man, her spy husband is rubbing off on her. I love it. So I hid myself in the shadows. I love that she's just learning from him. It's so good. The missing representative? What I overheard was a strange story. According to the conversation between the civilian officials, the representative who had objected to Toya's policies behind the scenes disappeared last night. We're not talking about Orda, are we? And not just him alone, but with the other supporters who had gathered at his house. I hope it's somebody else. The civilian officials looked extremely frightened and whispered to each other, "It must be that ghost fox," or rather, the political assistant. That ghost fox. That's actually an awesome name. Not gonna lie. No way. No matter how bad Noel is. I shook my head once in denial. Immediately after, I remembered Noel's cold smile and a shiver ran from my toes. If I close my eyes to shake off my imagination, I can see those harsh, thin-looking lips behind my eyelids. Soon! Hello!
Are you there, madam?
Suddenly pulled back to reality, my shoulders jumped. I shook my head again and steeled myself to be firm. Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
Have you caught a cold?
He must have been concerned that I was sick because I was rubbing my arms, which were covered in goosebumps from the chills. Responding to his attention, I smiled wryly and shrugged my shoulders in a daringly large gesture. No, I'm fine today. Rather, I feel just a little too energetic today.
It is good that you are in good health. If Madam has a gloomy face, Mr. Esta will lose his energy, and it will be very difficult for us, his subordinates.
No. That can't be.
Yes, it is.
Even though speaking in a serious tone, Soon smiled slightly. In the last half-month or so, Soon has started to smile a little more. Aw, Naala, look at you bringing some sunshine to these shadow boys' lives. Each time I discover small changes in this way, I notice our deepening relationship and a change in myself. It is not only the two of us who have changed. I'm happy to have a relationship in which we can smile at each other, but I'm no longer able to categorize people merely under enemies and allies. I know it's wrong, but still, if I were told to cut them down now, I wouldn't be able to move. If Auri could see me now, he'd be angry at how pathetic I am. To escape the guilt, I looked up at the blue sky through the window. Just then, a butterfly wandered in. The butterfly fluttered, flew around me, and circled around, and when I thought it would go straight out, it rested its wings on the wall. The black and light blue spots were beautiful. Looking at it, I heard an unexpected word.
I shall remove it.
What? You mean to kill it?
It's bothering Madam's rest.
It's not. It'll leave eventually, so you don't have to kill it. The earnest Soon really was going to cross the room to go kill a butterfly. I shall remove the offender at once. I hastily stopped him and he blinked his acorn-like eyes.
Do you need that butterfly for something?
Jeez, you sound just like Esta. It's not fair to take away a life that is not bothering anything. As I spoke in an exasperated tone, Soon somehow got a faraway look in his eyes and turned his head to the wall. It was like he was looking at the butterfly, but also like staring somewhere else.
But the butterfly has invaded the Master's domain. At that point, it was destined to be hunted.
Oh.
Only the strong survive in this world. The strong feed on the weak. It is the way of things. Therefore, killing that butterfly is not a sin.
The butterfly's wings fluttered. I muttered to myself as I admired it decorating the wall. That's so sad.
Sad.
Yes. I think a world where only the necessary things have been left would be bland. Wouldn't seem happy or fun.
So Madam thinks it's a sin to kill the butterfly.
The ideas of right or wrong vary from person to person. Some people may agree with your opinion, but I think it's better to have a world full of things we don't need. That's a bit frightening, isn't it? I'm talking to you here now like this, but someone could judge that I'm unnecessary and should be killed.
Madam, you are necessary.
Thanks. But I might be unnecessary to a certain fox. Ooh, look at her. Man, I like how clever she is, man. Like, she's able to word things like this. She's like using this as a teaching moment. Like, I'm just saying, like, a certain somebody that we all know might deem me unnecessary. What you gonna do about it? Soon? What you gonna do about it? Soon was silent, looking unusually thoughtful. A wind blew into a room full of strange silence, making our clothes flutter. Riding on the breeze, various smells flow in the room. The smell. My husband has returned. I can smell it on the wind.
I have returned.
It's his room, so he shouldn't bother, but Esta always comes in after knocking on the door. This time, however, Esta came in without any knocking. From his somewhat rapid speech, it was obvious that he was in a great hurry. What's wrong, Esta? Is there another problem?
The military commander has told me to kick you out.
Well, tell him to go suck an egg. With a rushed tone that is unlike him, he spoke before I finished my question. It upset me, so it took me a few seconds to respond. What do you mean?
I did not tell you, but for some time, Lord Surin has been appealing to Lord Toya to invalidate our marriage.
Ugh, this guy can't quit. Why?
He has not given up on you.
That can't be, but I chose you.
We haven't signed a marriage pledge. It seems that Lord Surin, who got the information, finally urged Lord Toya to break our marriage today.
Marriage pledge?
It is an absolute covenant, and even the king cannot dissolve the marriage certified by it.
Then let's sign it now. That's good. We have a proper way of defense. I felt relieved, but Esta, on the contrary, had a difficult look on his face. Esta? When I asked him, he looked away. When I looked closer, Esta's eyes were shaking slightly. Hesitation, anxiety, and sadness. I could see his conflicted inner feelings.
If you sign the pledge, then you really will become my wife.
Wasn't that always the plan?
Then you will lose your escape route.
What?
And you'll be tied up with this boring, empty man.
It was the first time I saw Esta's voice and shoulders shake. Aww, he's such a sweet bean. He breathed sadly, and his bitten lips were drawn back as if they were about to break. Esta, you not only protected me, but left an escape route for me. The moment I understood, an enormous amount of emotions welled up and pressed down on my chest. I was happy, yet somewhat sad, and tears came to the corners of my eyes.
I have a request.
What?
Hide yourself somewhere for a while. In the meantime, I'll take care of it.
You're rushing because, unless we sign the pledge, the chances of escape are low, aren't you? Maybe Noel didn't know either that we didn't sign the pledge? The answer was obvious from his raised eyebrows. Wow, he, like, hid it from everybody. He really wanted to get her, like, out of this. Is it just because you're, like, that nice? Is that the... Like, is there, I guess, a grander reason for why you did this for Naala? Or do you just, like her that much, is what I want to know. If Surin takes me away from you, you will be punished by Noel, right?
Even if that is the case, you are not to blame. This is something I did on my own.
Esta, you fool. I sandwiched Esta's cheeks with my hands. What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Aw. Get him, Naala, get him. I will not let him say anything more. Esta, his mouth puckered up, lowered his eyebrows in a confused manner.
That's...
We are friends. I can't just sit back and let my friend get punished because of me. And I have no intention of marrying anyone but you. Surin is especially out of the question. Yeah, I agree with all of this. I love that. I have no intention of marrying anyone but you. Esta, you won this girl's heart. I love that for you.
Is that so?
Yeah, because among the men in this country, you're the most reliable. That may be true, honestly. Steph's pretty reliable too. But you know what? This is the honest truth. Nice. Among the men in this country, I like you the most, and I don't really have any other friends. Esta's eyes widened as I spoke, so I wondered to myself, did I say something strange? Oh. After a few seconds, I realized I had said something like a confession of love, and I blushed with embarrassment. I have a question also. Is Soon just like chilling in the corner of the room watching this go down? Kind of side-eyeing that butterfly every once in a while, like, Because I would love that. Oh, no, not like that. I mean, I like you as a friend. As a friend.
I know that. It still makes me happy.
It was the gentlest smile I've ever seen. There was not an ounce of coldness in his softened, beautiful face. I could see from his eyes that he was sincerely pleased, and my cheeks felt hot.
I've told you a lie.
A lie?
Yes. I didn't really know why I protected you that night. And yet I pretended to know. Maybe I was afraid of some impulse within myself that I didn't understand. It is only now, at this time, that I finally understand. I protected you because I did not want you to get hurt.
Oh, Esther, that's true. That is the purest thing.
You were the first person to treat me as a person, and I didn't want to see you cry. I like you as a person and as a friend. So will you let me continue to protect you?
Esta. It wasn't a romantic expression of man and woman, but rather that's why Esta's like permeated deep into my heart. At this moment, the line between friend and foe was erased from my mind. I blinked to hide my tears and took Esta's hand. Then, please continue to protect me.
Yes.
I wonder if real weddings are like this. That was kind of like vows, wasn't it? Aww. My heart. That's so sweet. I am filled with a strange sense of happiness. Around us, hand in hand, it was as if time had stopped. Yes, he is still here. Amazing. We even have a witness to it. The best man is here. I love it. Right, we have to sign the pledge.
That's right.
We had completely forgotten about Soon's presence, and we searched for a brush, somewhat panicked. While we were in the middle of all of this, Soon held out a document. He's like, I figured you might need this. He totally made preparations. Soon, best bro. I love Soon so much.
I thought this might happen, so I made preparations.
We both looked down at the paper together. There was a written pledge of marriage. The only thing left to do is to sign the bottom of the page.
Even though I didn't order you to, I've learned that it's more interesting to do things that seem unnecessary.
Dang. Look at that smile on Soon. Thus, we became genuine husband and wife. And friends. Yay! I love that. Go suck an egg, Surin! Esta is late again today. Perhaps because of the daytime commotion, it is difficult to go to sleep. I wanted to talk to Esta for a bit to calm myself down, but apparently he is working through the night again tonight. I know, my waiting like this could be a burden for Esta. I need to get some sleep. When I gave up and closed my eyelids tightly, I felt that some of the distractions had disappeared. And yet, after a while, I found myself thinking about Esta again. I got off the bed and walked across the room. Crossing again. Then looked down at the top of the bed. I still think it's better to lie down and wait. The moment I nodded to myself and put my knees up on the bed, Esta's "I like you" that I heard in the morning was again echoing in my ears. Immediately, my face felt hot and I backed away as if to escape. I'm not giving any importance to it. It's the same as before. We just sleep together as friends. Sure, yep. So you have had some nights sleeping together. Interesting. Very interesting. I made excuses as if to someone else and shook my head. I have not been able to relax since I signed the pledge in the morning. It's not that I didn't want to, but why am I fidgeting? Soon shouldn't have brought these clothes. It was a gift from Soon, who brought a thin nightgown to commemorate the day we became husband and wife. Soon, you're getting sassy, and I like it. Moreover, it is made to fit the body, so when wearing it, yeah, various parts will stand out, let's just say. Was it made to fit your body specifically? Because then soon we need to have a chat. It was finally midnight before I could decide whether to put it on or not. Jeez. No need to worry about it, right? I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. In desperation, I jumped on the bed and covered myself with the blanket. Maybe he doesn't like sleeping with me. Or that he can't sleep with someone beside him. I don't really feel like I'm sleeping with him because he's either out working at night, or if he does lie down, he's up before I wake up. I wonder what it would be like to sleep together with him. I just imagined it, and I was writhing in embarrassment all by myself. I feel that, girl. It's like I want to sleep with him. Stupid, what am I thinking? Even though he's my friend, he's a Nasla man. I shouldn't trust him completely. I shouldn't trust him. In reality, I know. By the time I start denying like this, my feelings have been decided. I no longer consider Esta to be a Nasla man. Everyone, I'm sorry. I curled up in a ball and bit my lip. She fell for the bean. I was hoping that sleep would come over me while I was doing this, but I never fell asleep, probably because of my worries. I sighed and was about to turn over. Whoa! I guess he came in through the window. Huh? I was surprised. So surprised that for a moment I forgot the vital activity of breathing. I mean, who could imagine that someone would jump in from the window? What? A figure that seems to have jumped in through the window stands up slowly. The moonlight coming in brought to light the very person I had been thinking of. Esta?
Uh,
He probably didn't think I was awake. When I called out his name, Esta gave such a big reaction that it could be seen even in the dim light. He turned around briskly and then spoke with caution.
are you awake?
Yeah. How did you just get in, anyway?
Uh,
Apparently, he's wondering if he should explain it to me. His silent pause is longer than usual. I waited with a look in my eyes that said, I won't let you get away, and with an exasperated sigh, he began to speak.
There are a couple of grooves between the rooftop and this window.
Yeah.
I put my feet into them and climbed down the wall.
Climb. Down the wall.
I place my fingertips in the last groove, recoil like a pendulum, then dive back into the room. You look angry.
You've got it right.
Why are you angry?
How could I not be? Don't ever do anything dangerous like that again.
But the key.
I didn't want to be bossy, but make a duplicate key, please.
Understood.
Are all of Nasla civilian officials this nimble? I don't know. It might be an Esta thing, honestly. I've experienced surprises so far, but what has happened tonight is the most shocking. What I cannot forgive is that I have let Esta do such a dangerous thing until now. Don't be this reckless again. I approached Esta, worried that he may be injured. Then, as in the morning, a breeze blew in through the window and our clothes fluttered. My nose, being downwind, picked up a strange smell. I knew it. Esta, are you hurt?
Yeah, a little.
After a short answer, Esta quickly headed for the washroom. I could hear the sound of water and could tell that he was carefully washing his hands. Well, he may not be hurt. He may have hurt someone. Esta?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
When Esta returned, he was wearing gloves, as usual. I don't see him without them very often, so maybe he doesn't feel comfortable without them. Where did you hurt yourself?
It was just a little scratch on the arm.
When you do something that dangerous, it's only natural that you get hurt. I'm sorry I didn't notice before. That's why your hand was injured yesterday, too.
Did you notice?
I am sensitive to the smell of blood because I also often get injured in training and hunting. Recently, the smell of blood from Esta has been increasing every day. Okay. I find it hard to believe he's the one getting injured, but we will see. Perhaps he has several wounds under his robe. Perhaps. It's my fault because I kept the key. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
But...
It's my carelessness. It's definitely not your fault.
He insisted, and I couldn't apologize anymore. I reluctantly stopped apologizing and was gently pushed on the back and led to a chair. Esta, sitting on the opposite side of me, tilted his head as if to encourage me.
Is there something troubling you that keeps you up this late?
Troubled, or rather... I can't say that I was troubled about my relationship with Esta. I was lost for how to explain it, and then I remembered one incident. Among the kidnapped women, there's one named Haru.
Yes, the one who left the residence.
Yes. When she confessed that she'd fallen in love with a Nasla man, Shalu really swore at her. I'm a little worried that they're still on bad terms. Apologies to both of them, but I had to use them as an excuse. Esta seemed convinced and gave a small nod.
I think Miss Shalu will be fine, since she seems to have calmed down recently.
What do you think?
What do you mean, what do I think?
I'm not comfortable saying this in front of you, but... We could say that the people of Nasla are our enemies. I wonder if it's a betrayal after all, to like someone you once thought was your enemy in that way. Esta, who had been answering me without hesitation, became silent. His reaction brought me back to my senses, and I hurriedly tried to make more excuses. I'm sorry I asked you such a strange question. Don't worry about that.
I don't know, because I don't have a country to betray, but in my personal feeling, when people treat each other with kindness, isn't it natural to develop a liking for each other? I learned that when I met you.
Esta answered me even before I made any more poor excuses. It seems that he was thinking all the time while he was silent. I was touched that he took it seriously, then suddenly realized the strange thing he had said and repeated it. You don't have a country to betray? In the face of my surprise, Esta closed his eyelids for a moment as if he was having difficulty saying something. But after a pause, he opened his mouth with a determined expression.
I am originally from another country too, and I was a slave.
A slave? I should be able to understand the word, but the impact was too strong for me to pronounce it properly. Esta smiled bitterly and looked a little distant.
Yes, I was a slave sold in the Nasla market. Then Lord Noel happened to pass by and bought me. If Lord Noel had not taken me in at that time, I might have been killed.
With all due respect, I'm surprised that Noel would help someone out.
I am grateful that I was saved, but I don't think it was Lord Noel's intention to save me.
Why?
Perhaps he saw his countrymen being sold and felt himself being undermined. Lord Noel is proud of everything that makes up who he is. Perhaps he felt that one of those aspects, the pride of his people, had been harmed.
Esta, you know Noel very well.
Lord Noel was my teacher, and taught me everything I needed in order to be useful. I can understand things because I spent a lot of time with him. Naala?
Even though I didn't realize it, I said terrible things. You're also someone who was taken by force to be here.
I am now living as a citizen of this country, just like any other Nasla person. There is nothing for you to worry about.
Esta told me so, but I couldn't help but feel a pain in my heart. We were kidnapped and protected by Toya's law, but Esta must have been treated much worse. I bit my lip, thinking of a story I had heard from a merchant in the past. Slaves sold in the marketplace are not treated like human beings.
I guess that's why I don't really care where I was born. In my world, it's Lord Noel and then everyone else.
That's a rough way to look at things.
Right now it's Lord Noel, you, and then everyone else.
I'm happy, but I have mixed feelings about being put alongside Noel.
No, you're not in the same category. You and Lord Noel occupy different positions in my mind.
What's the difference?
You are the one I like. Lord Noel is the one I serve.
Aww, Esta. Oh, thank you. As friends, you know, as friends.
What's wrong?
Nah, it's nothing. I admire Esta for being able to clearly say that he likes me. How does the conflict between Roos and Nasla look in the eyes of Esta, who faces people without prejudice? He doesn't care where people are born. After all, maybe people are just people. From that point of view, the conflict between the two countries seems empty. Because we are all human beings, we should join hands with each other. If Roos with its many women were to provide information, it's possible that a solution to the rot could be found. Interesting jump she made there. Fussing over the borders forever will only wastefully reduce the number of humans. However, it is unlikely that the heads of both countries will sit at the negotiating table on the same level. Aside from Toya, it is difficult to convince the hard-headed Rus ministers. Unless there is some definitive resolution plan, they will not move. If only there was a Rus person who could also think of Nasla. Oh! I am amazed at my own thoughts. The shock spread through my heart, and I understood. Thank you, Esta. Thanks to you, I feel like I understand the meaning of my coming to Nasla.
I haven't done anything.
Oh, yay! Finally! Finally a CG. You hold that sweet boy's hand, his sweet gloved hand that was covered in blood a few minutes ago. You hold that hand. His denial frustrated me. I held his hand as if praying for him to understand. Your presence and your words have shown me the way, so I am very, very grateful.
I too am grateful. You have given me a great treasure of emotions. I'm not used to it yet, and sometimes I'm afraid I'll hurt you with my intense emotions.
You know, actually, looking more at this picture, it kind of reminds me of the neutral end picture, but like she went to grab his hand instead of the other way around, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. It's like a similar angle anyway, but she's got long hair this time. She knows who he is. It's just a nice little juxtaposition there. I really like it. I can't imagine that even you would have intense emotions. You always seem so calm.
I do, every time I'm in this room.
Every time?
I have so much affection for you, my friend, that I don't know how to handle it myself. Saying things like this troubles you, doesn't it?
Trub? Instantly, I felt my whole body temperature rise. I suddenly became embarrassed, and my voice stammered, even though I had taken his hand myself. I'm not troubled. I also like you too. As a friend.
Good. Then it's okay for me to say that I like you from now on.
Oh, yeah. I don't really want him to say it because I feel like it'll break my heart. But I want to hear it. Contradictory wishes jostle in my heart and make me want to scream. As I was feeling restless and my eyes darted around, Esta held my hand tightly and whispered to me. What is this Jane Austen line? What is this Jane Austen, Mr. Darcy-esque line here? I'm gone. I'm gone. Oh, that is such a Mr. Darcy line. Oh, I've ascended.
I like you. I like you almost irresistibly.
The rapid beating of my heart and my flushed cheeks urged me to be aware of it as soon as possible. I tried to look down as my final act of resistance, but he grabbed my hand back and we inadvertently stared at each other. His strong gaze entangled me, and I felt as if my breath and heart would stop. I can't do it anymore. It is too late to deny it. I like Esta as a man.